Alright guys, welcome back. We do have PGF Gaming versus Disparity. This is their third match, so each team has won one game, and this is going to determine who goes to the final four, I do believe. We are cutting into Champion Select here, and Jarvan the Fourth is the first ban. I'm waiting on Purple Team to toss out a ban here. Light Bright, banning off Zach.
They definitely just watched the Jarvan rap video and did not want to see him on his unicycle stomping the Summoner's Rift, so I'm pretty sure that's why that ban went out.
We'll go with that. We do have the Zed and Diana bans coming out. Renekton for Disparity. And I think all of these bans are targeted. Every single one of them. So this should be an exciting match. Thresh is the final ban for Disparity Gaming. And we're sitting here waiting on the first pick for PGF, and it looks like Sona's getting hovered over. No, they do swap to Draven here, so. I guess Sona wasn't anywhere near as important as Draven for their team.
I would actually agree with that, because Sona is, I mean, in terms of picking your AD carry, you want the strongest and you want the best, and I think Draven just brings the party in the lane. Like, they should make party Draven. He brings it. He brings the pain as well, and I think that's his entire reasoning for being picked first.
And we do have Shen and Twisted Fate locked in for Disparity Gaming, and Nocturne to counter Shen ult. With Nocturne ults, Shen cannot ult. There is no way to cast your ultimate as Shen. You do have the portraits on the left side, but you cannot cast your ultimate. So we do have Nocturne being hovered over here. And Sona does get locked in, so they are going to run Sona Draven. And we'll see if they actually lock in Nocturne here.
That Sona Draven is just a powerhouse in the laning phase for just obliteration. We have bonus damage coming. She has her heals. She has a slow, which can benefit all of Draven's abilities. And it just, when she's able to ult and he gets his axes going, it's going to be bad news bears for just about anybody being hit.
And you did mention the bonus damage. Her Q does enable Spinning Axe to do a lot of damage. And that can be a poke in itself. So there is that. We got Twitch being hovered over currently, and with the team that they have Shen ult for Peel currently, so kind of a scary situation for Twitch unless he's really good at positioning, and the Blitzcrank does get locked in here. So they do choose to lock in the Twitch. We'll see what the final two picks are for PGF.
They're gonna need something really, really tanky to counter it, and I feel a Sejuani coming in, possibly, because she's just been in every game. She's just so persistent. So we'll see what they bring out.
And we do see the Ezreal and Jace hovers. The Ezreal mid is what I'm going to assume would happen, since they do have Draven. And they do have the Singed get locked in. Singed is going to be an excellent pick against Shen. He's able to split push the lane really well and just constantly pull attention to top lane. So the Ezreal does get locked in. They're going to, for the game 3 of this matchup, they're going to try to pull some Ezreal mid shenanigans. And we're looking at a Nautilus getting hovered over. So Nautilus, you mentioned tankiness. be really strong. So they do have Nautilus. Sejuani is also another pick. And Hecarim is open. I want to see Hecarim in one of these tournaments.
We did see him get banned in the first game that we did cast today, and I just thought that was funny because Riot actually, he has had bug issues, and they've obviously been fixed, but it was just a way to balance out ranked queue for 2 days, apparently.
I just think people got more confused over anything as to who to ban. Hecarim's been banned. I think he's banned or picked in like 90% of ranked games from silver to platinum, so he's a powerhouse right now.
He is a powerhouse. He has as a jungler, he has the speed boost, he has the lifesteal, he just has the ability to be everywhere he needs to be when he needs to be there, because he can just be everywhere. He is literally a nightmare, and he has that fear, and that ultimate is just such a good... It works for a pickup and both an initiation and a re-engage, so his ult does a little bit of everything that it needs to. And I feel like Hecarim just overall as a champion, I don't want to say he's overpowered, but his... what am I looking for? His utility is just really strong. Kind of how I feel about Lulu. She has just really strong utility for what she is.
And we are in the 3-minute delay here, so they did have entered the loading screen. We're going to talk about summoner spells real quick. Singed is running Teleport Ghost. That's common summoner pickup for Singed, whereas Shen has Flash and Ignite. So what you're going to see here is when Shen ults away, if he doesn't pick up a kill or doesn't assist his team in picking up a kill, dragon, or bot tower when he does ult, Singed is going to push towers. And the matchup's already hard for Shen. He can't put out enough damage to handle Singed. And his sustain isn't quite enough to deal with Singed. So it's already a tough matchup. So Nautilus is going to have to try to help him out early.
Another thing that's...
go ahead.
I was just going to bring up another thing that's been happening is there's a lot of TF pickups, but they haven't been too well-rounded. Like, we see him, he does have presence, but I don't think he's strong enough for the people that are using them. We obviously see him played in higher levels, and he just excels, but I think as that right now for some of the lower players, he kind of fell off a bit, only because of the recent ult changes that have basically taken down the it's up the cooldown, and I think for some people it's been hard to grasp, even though it's something so simple done.
And that goes down to timing. What you normally see in global comps is if you can avoid that first ultimate just completely devastating your team, you can come back pretty easy, and that's what we saw in the last game. Kind of. There was a bit of shenaniganry from both teams in that dragon fight last game. But if you can avoid the TF Shen ults completely devastating your team early, it's easy for you to get ahead and keep that lead going and just completely snowball out of control. And we do have a question coming off. Somebody just AP Ezreal question mark. That's what it's looking like. AP Ezreal can just ult the mid lane in response to TF ulting down bot lane, or he can choose to ult bot lane and hopefully that hits. So he can push the lane out very easily, or he can show up bot lane very easily. So it's a decent pick against TF. Not my first choice, but I'm not a mid player, so I wouldn't know.
Another thing that's going to be really strong about Disparity has a really strong comp. They do have, in fact, a lot of CC, a lot more than PGF has, in my opinion. Right now, they had 2 global ults, which are both going to be game-changing, and it's both going to be a minefield bot. And by minefield, I mean mining corpses. Because it's right now, it's looking like a kill-in already with Twitch Blitzcrank. We have the grabs, and we have the Twitch just able to do extra damage even after auto-attacking. And on top of that, if you have Shen coming down with a taunt and then TF coming down with a gold card or even a red card, it's going to look like hell on wheels down there.
And we are getting into loading screen. I had a little bit of a error with my loading screen, so I'm just now getting into it. We'd like to thank a few groups real quick. Area Defect, and who's been playing throughout the whole tournament, allowed us to play their music and kind of keep you guys entertained in between matches. I do understand that when sometimes we have to wait on a match to get done before we can shoutcast it, and that can be kind of a burden. Bearing with us, enjoying the music. And we also would like to mention Factions. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It is a community-driven... I don't want to say probably what it is. Forums, and it's under general discussion. You just type in Factions, and you look for the sign up. And there's a whole story arc. They're currently in the second arc. And there's playing it, and it's community-driven. You join a faction, and you play only champions from that faction. And you kind of get together, and you, for each match, and those guys that check out. Teams like Disparity going in the enemy that is careful, not blitz, poison, so terrifying.
Okay.
And I'm having a bit of a raid call issue, so I'm going to restart it. If it's not fixed, I will hop over to Skype and we'll do it from here. So give me just a second, guys.
Okay, well, on the map currently, we do see wards going out into the bush over here. Both teams have been warded, and so far, Disparity is just top. They're waiting for an invade on blue, and we'll just see what we get out of that invade. Nocturne, Ezreal, and Singed are going to go for the red buff on their side. And the wards are not going to be set out for blue, and we might have a grab over here on Sona coming out just missing. Gold card is charged on TF, and they're not going to be able to pick up anything so far.
Alright, and I have returned. Hopefully that fixed out the lag issues my voice was having.
Yep, you sound about 100% better, and we do have Purple Team picking up the blue buff from PGF's side.
Oh, they did just kind of just manpower their way into that blue buff, didn't they?
It wasn't even sheer manpower. It was just they kind of just whittled their way in there. They almost had a Blitzcrank pull onto Sona, and they just missed it. She walked away from it. But because of that, Ez has been able to farm a little bit in lane, and TF has had to back off a little bit, and he might lose some, but I'm pretty sure he'll make a comeback on that. And we do see the AD carries top, so it is a 2v1 lane against Shen.
Generally, it's purple side that does the swap. They're obviously doing this to try to keep Shen from ulting. He doesn't have teleport, so they're going to take full advantage of that and keep him from teleporting bot lane. Singed versus Twitch and Blitzcrank is kind of scary. If Singed gets pulled, he has melee range. It can be dangerous early, but I think that's a chance they're going to try to take. We do have obviously basic item builds. Sona's the only one with wards on PGF. We do have a taunt coming out from Shen. Try to put a little early damage onto Sona and Draven. Draven taking a big tower shot from a bleed proc. And they do need to be careful top lane, because if TF hits 6, him and Nautilus can show up.
Nautilus has already shown up He is in the mix down mid, and they've got Flash and Ignite off onto Ezreal, and TF picking up the kill.
TF did have to burn Flash there. That's 100% worth it, in my opinion. A lot of people have arguments over how much gold is Flash worth. Is it worth more to deny, or is it worth more to get a kill?
I think it's worth more to get a kill, in my opinion, because overall it does help you as the individual, the player. You get the gold. You get the gold for the kill, and all in all, I just think it's worth. If you say so in all chat.
only if you say it in all chat. I mean, that kind of depends. You have Nocturne, his ganks pre-6 are a little lackluster. Ezreal doesn't have a CC to lock you down in the mid lane, so flashing for a kill isn't as dangerous as it would be for Ezreal to flash and get a kill. So, I mean, it's kind of a risk versus reward kind of situation that you want to put yourself in. We do have Nautilus sitting in the top lane. They don't have that Tribush warded, and here he comes. Oh, and he misses the hook just barely.
But he does flash, and he's taking damage. He's burned his barrier as well, and Nautilus does get another hook on him, and he is actually going to pick up the kill.
And I'm not sure if I heard a laugh come out from Shen, or I could just be having some past tremors. I thought I heard either Zed laugh or a Shen laugh right there. So I think there's a little taunting going on between the two teams. They've played. This is their third match. This determines who moves on and who goes home. So this is all or nothing right here. We're going to be playing very carefully. They're going to try to plan everything out. And right now, the littlest mistake can completely throw a game. Even this early, if they push a lead, I've seen, especially in the Korean meta, if you make one mistake, you lose 2 towers. So it's hard to come back from mistakes in League of Legends. At its heart, it's a snowballing game.
Yeah, that loss is very prevalent in the Korean meta. In the Asian meta in total, I was watching the OGN this weekend, and Najin Cern versus CJ Curse was just it was kind of a frightening game because you just saw Frost just be able to mow down, and mow down.
Yeah, I mean, if you, especially over there, like in the American meta, they're more lusty for kills, is what it looks like, especially outside of the Pro Series. They love killing people. They love getting kills and then leaving and just showing power. And that goes to show with everything American. We like everything nice and big, done in muscle cars compared to Korean hot rods. I mean, everything's bigger in America, and we kind of show it, especially when it comes down to getting kills. We're all about getting a kill and leaving the lane. Let them go. Get that lead. Make it nice and big.
And that, yeah, America does like their kills in the League of Legends meta, where the EU and the Asian teams prey more on the fact that it's easier to get towers and objectives that can help you scale for better late game and just overall push control, because you can have map control and have 0 kills and win a game.
Yeah, we see that a lot. We do see that a lot more over in the European scene and the Asian scene, whereas in America they just kind of team fight a lot. They team fight a lot more, whereas the other metas tend to just push and get objectives when they can.
Nocturne is looking a little tasty right now. I'm not sure if Nautilus is going to pursue it, since he does have allies coming to help him. But he was over at blue.
Picked up by TF. TF is pushing him out of lane, and TF's forced to flash. The Ezreal, and it does look like he is building blue Ezreal in the mid lane. And they're able to push out. They're going to try to just manpower their way into the enemy blue buff here.
And they do pick it up.
Yeah, they just manpowered their way into the enemy blue buff. And it looked like for a split second there that the Nocturne was thinking about calling a dragon, but decided to avoid that. Ezreal was pretty low. He was out of mana. Nocturne was about half health. So don't think they wanted to try to fight for Dragon. They'll take the blue buff and leave.
We have seen that the lanes have normalized. It is AD carry versus AD carry and supports now, and it is a 1v1 top lane. Singe just ulted. He's just spreading his lovely little poisons around. And he's just kind of farming what he can, trying to push the lane as much as possible. He was under leveled a few seconds ago and has come back since then, and we have seen another level from Shen, but Shen's just gonna have to farm bot. He's under tower right now. We did see the Ezreal ult go off mid just now, and Gold card is looking to go off on Ezreal, but he's just out of range.
That looks like TF's... And we do have a pause going off here.
Yes, we do.
So there might be a connection error here, or somebody might be... this is where a lot of smack talk kind of goes down. And that's my favorite part, is when they pause and just smack talk each other. So the pause does go out. We'll see. I don't know what the issue is quite yet. I don't know if it'll even be announced. Shen might be... It looked like Shen was the cause of it. He said sex, sorry. So yeah, he might have just had a little something come up.
While we're waiting, okay, yeah, we're coming back in about 3 seconds. Right now we do have just basic build so far going out for everybody.
We do have the tier. Singe did pick up a tier. Generally, Singe will pick up a tier in a lane that's easy for him, such as Shen. I really can't think of any other easier lanes for Singed, but he does pick up a tier. It lets him stack mana early, which also gives him a big chunk of health. He does have that passive.
Shen is going on him, and he's putting down some of the smackdown as well. Singed is going to walk away. He has put down his slow, and his poison is off. He is low on mana, and he is going to ult. He's coming in for the flip, putting the poison on him, but I don't think he can do much more than that.
Yeah, I just think Singed is trying to push him out of lane, or just at least push hard enough. And his ult is still rolling for a few more seconds here. It'll let him get back to lane a little faster. So he's gonna try to run the lane as fast as possible. He does still have teleport is up in 35 seconds. So he's a little bit ahead of farm. Oh, excuse me, no, he's not anymore. The farm's just about even, but Shen does have an assist. That's kind of why they had to force the swap back. If your solo lane does get a kill from the jungler in the 2v1, you generally just want to switch back, because the 2v1 lane can come back a little stronger than the AD carry, and then that's just all bad. You can just completely ignore the support player.
We do have Ezreal already picking up his Spirit of the Elder Lizard, and TF is still with his Sheen and his Blasting Wand. So they both have their mana gain and their base mana as well. TF is going to be able to do a little bit more damage from his E ability from the fourth card. I forget what the name of it is, but it does do bonus damage, and on top of it, if there's a Sheen proc, it does a hefty amount of health.
Yeah, I do believe the name of that ability is Stacked Decked. We do see Ezreal picking up blue buff, so he's going to be able to just kind of poke him down with the Elder Lizard buff. Every ability that Ezreal lands onto TF does do a little bit of extra 2 damage, so that can whittle him down before TF can respond. And TF is playing that lane very safe. He does have the most farm in the game. He's up a kill on Ezreal, so he's playing safe for now, waiting for an opportunity to gank bot lane. And back to the tier versus Catalyst on Singed. An early tier in a lane that you can handle having that gives you quite a bit more mana than a Rod of Ages. It also does give you a giant chunk of mana, considering Singed does build things like Frozen.
Another thing we see bot is Blitzcrank just actually landed a good pull onto the Draven, and Yeah, Twitch is going to use his ult, his spray and pray, and just takes Draven down enough, but not enough, but enough to keep him out of lane. He is gonna ult to try to put something on him, hoping that Nocturne is gonna go in and try to put some pressure on the lane, but nothing came of it. So in my opinion, that was a wasted Draven ult that could have been saved for something better.
I mean, Draven's ult does come up decently quick. It does have 83 seconds on it. Twitch did burn Flash to try to pick up the Draven kill, and failed. So, and there is an enemy Nocturne and a Singe on the other team with Teleport. So Twitch is in a bad spot right now, no matter where he's sitting in that lane. He doesn't have the Flash to get out. So he's got to be very careful. They want to keep that warded, which they don't have that Tribush warded. So Nocturne can sit in that Tribush and get an ult off onto that Twitch, and he won't be able to escape. We do see Sona with the pink ward. And that blue team does have that ward expired in Tribush. There is no coverage, and it looks like Nocturne is going to try to ult for that Twitch.
They were waiting for for at least them to come closer, or for Blitzcrank to either pull Draven or Sona, and it just didn't happen. They were waiting for something that was a 50-50 chance, and might happen actually soon now, if they can get it. But I think before they're going in for anything Killtastic, I think they are going to wait for the Nautilus, so they'll have a better presence in the lane.
And you do see Soda's kind of running out there, out of the way of minions, and just kind of auto-attacking Blitz, saying, please, grab me. There's a Nocturne sitting by my tower. And I think that Disparity Gaming knows that. They have a feel for it, it looks like. And they know Nocturne's nearby. And that's something you should expect when your Twitch burns Flash. The enemy jungler will be there. So they're playing it safe, just letting Twitch farm a little bit. And they're just going to avoid that situation. We do see Nautilus running top for a gank, and Singed has no wards. No wards up, and he's just going to run out of that Tribush and just... A lot of maybes going down in this game early.
Yeah, a lot of maybes on both teams, actually. That could have been a successful gank if Nautilus did have... if he would have gone in. And... The maybe from the side of Nocturne sitting bot lane hoping for a chance to come with the ult. I get the point of the aggressive Sona.
We do see Draven.
Stuff's coming in. Shen is coming in. TF is coming in. The global ults are down. Crescendo does go off from Sona, and Spray and Pray is coming off from Twitch.
And Singed opted to cancel his teleport. That team fight was lost before it began. And you did see the Twisted Fate flashes on top of Sona here.
TF is going balls to the wall ham mode. He is going to go down to the ult from Nocturne, and the passive from Twitch is going to take down Nocturne.
There was the caster minion assist involved in that as well. So Twitch poison with a caster minion is very scary, apparently. We do see Ezreal trying to hold her. All in all, that was a really good combination from Shen and TF. Nautilus did go top to respond, so that top tower is not going to fall. All in all, really good map presence by Disparity Gaming. They had Nautilus was in that area, he rotated top, and they just kind of put the hurt down on PGF there. They didn't quite get a tower out of it, or a dragon, so it wasn't as much of a lead as they could have gotten. But they did get that 1,000 gold lead. 1,400 now, excuse me.
TF now does have his Lynchbane and a needlessly large rod, which is just going to mean his card stack is going to be even stronger. As we're actually seeing mid right now, he does look like he is going to go down to the Nocturne right now, and Ezreal does pick up the kill instead.
I mean, TF was putting quite a bit of a hurt on that Ezreal. Luckily, Nocturne was there to respond. We do see Nautilus running in the mid lane, putting some pressure down.
We do see PFG going for the dragon right now. And they do pick it up.
The gold lead is nothing right now. They responded really well to the global presence of Disparity Gaming. Disparity wasn't able to pick up the dragon, so they said, hey, we're going to go pick that up instead.
And they are focusing mid right now, and we might see the mid tower go down.
Yeah, they're actually responding really well to this global comp.
Again, I was mentioning... We were mentioning earlier... Yeah, we do see... I was gonna bring up the fact that we were mentioning earlier that kills in this game don't mean everything, and they pretty much shown us that when they came back from the gold, even though they are 2 and 5 and they are picking up the towers.
I mean, we have 1-1 towers. PGF did pick up dragon, and Disparity Gaming might have been able to stop that. They didn't have any vision down there at all to let them know that, hey, this is getting pink warded, it's about to be dragoned. Just nothing. So a little bit of a misplay or miscommunication by Disparity Gaming there, and that lead that they had is nearly nothing. So that was an amazing team fight in the bot lane. Disparity Gaming approached that really well, and by not warding dragon, just kind of gave that up. And TF does go Mia, and Ezreal immediately pushes the lane. There was no hesitation there. The minute TF's not in lane, he just pushes that wave out and starts to roam.
Well, I mean, even now, since they did lose mid lane, that's a lot stronger for them. So they're gonna have to start applying pressure. We do see TF teleport top to put on the hurt onto Singed right now. He has been ignited, and can we see the last bit of damage ticking off on him? And he is gonna go down to the last tick of ignite.
And you see these teams are both teams seem to be very eager to burn flash. Shen burned flash right there, and he didn't have Vorpal Blade up, and it didn't really do him any good. Granted, did get a tower for it, but even little misplays like that, yeah, Shen's a big tanky monster, but even without flash, he can't flash taunt a team fight when he ults in on somebody. So, once again, this goes to show that kills are more important to a lot of American players. We do see Blitzcrank getting poked down, and Ezreal has no idea that TF and Twitch are there. And the Nautilus ult is going to secure Ezreal there, so... yeah, I mean, Ezreal burned flash with Nautilus ult on him. There's really no escape there.
And we did just see Twitch pick up the kill onto Nocturne, just by auto attacking and a little bit of poison that was put on him from his passive.
And we're gonna see Disparity Gaming push maybe 2 towers right now. They're 5 strong in the bot lane, and the taunt does go out underneath the tower on the Sona. And
Now they do need to pick up the 2 towers. Singe does teleport, and he does flip the Twitch. Twitch is going to barrier, but he is going to go down to Sona, nonetheless. She is going to heal away the damage that was put on her and just survive enough.
I mean, we talked about getting kills, and now the American Meta loves getting kills. And that actually threw that little lead that they had. They were getting a lead, and now they're throwing it right now. Nautilus does get picked up by Draven and Singed. They were 5 strong in the mid lane. They could have pushed 2 towers, backed away, or at least put some hurt on that second tower. And in response to the aggression from Shen, blue team comes up and gets a few kills out of it.
Instead, blue team is going to go for the turret. Blitzcrank does get a grab. He ults. There's a Shen ult coming in. It's not gonna come through because Blitzcrank just got bursted down beforehand. TF is looking quite tasty, and the Ezreal ult is gonna pick him up. And Draven is literally just surviving.
This has been
You're taking a few tower hits.
Yeah, this has been an either-or game. Both teams have been capitalizing on mistakes very well, and both teams have been making mistakes. And we do see the Draven and Ezreal ult pick up Twisted Fate. He burned flash. A lot of wasted flashes this game. And people need to stop back and think about them flashing. if you watch pro streamers, Voyboy, especially, I watch him quite a bit, and he will say to his followers, that was a wasted flash. I had no reason to do that. And if you do get picked off by an ultimate, and we do see, speaking of getting picked off by ultimates, Twitch does just solo Nocturne. I don't know what Nocturne was doing down there in range of Twitch. And I'm looking at summoner spells right now. There is currently 1, 2, 3, 4 summoners up on the carries. Or the non-support players. Sona does have both of hers up. But everybody else in the game has at least one summoner down. So there's summoners going off left and right. And a lot of people take summoner spells for granted. And if you seem to have a problem doing that, burning flashes and such, go play Dota once. It'll give you a better aspect of how great summoner spells can be in League of Legends.
We do see Purple Team going for the dragon right now. Disparity realizes they need to focus more on objectives than kills because it's getting them nowhere. But if they could deny the ability for PGF to come back from profiting on the minions and the jungle monsters, I think they actually do and will have a chance to come back. But right now we see the blue Ezreal just being able to poke down. He does have that Iceborne Gauntlet now. He does have his cooldown boots, and he's just going to be able to poke, and again poke.
Tier is, wow, Singe's tier is not fully stacked. He's about 30 mana away from stacking it completely. A lot of Singe, when they do stack tier, they don't finish the item. They kind of just let it sit there for a while. And I do see some people recommending, talking about my Dota recommendation. I'm going to clarify that real quick. I absolutely hate Dota. But if you have a problem burning summoner spells in League of Legends,
TF is gonna go down to Singed right now. Singed did ult, and he was just able to catch him out of place, and he just picked him off like he was a slab of meat. It's kind of beautiful, actually.
Yeah, Singed just doesn't really care about anybody. He does pick up that Rylai's. So if he does get a hold of you, it's really hard to get away from him. He does have Fling as well, and that's slow. So it's very hard to get away from Singed if you're caught out. What do you see?
And he is bringing that Fling. Twitch tried his best to not die. He wasted his barrier, and he should have just let it all happen naturally. They are going to pick up the tower here, and they actually might push for the inhibitor tower. There are 4 of them currently in this lane. Nocturne is in fact pushing bot lane. But right now it's... okay, it is now equal to 4v4. TF is going to try to land a gold card and just doesn't, and Ezreal does ult, and it doesn't matter because Ezreal's ult is up in like another 40 seconds.
And we do see that tower bot lane gets picked up for free. PGF is up 2 towers right now, and they have taken a significant lead in gold. It's very actually interesting to see how they do have 2 very squishy players on PGF. They have Ezreal and Draven. Both have really great cut-ability. And they do have a Singed with a Rylai's in front of them. So they're playing their team comp really, really well in terms of keeping the enemy team away from Ezreal and Draven and just kind of poking them down. And when a team fight happens, you have Singed ult, Nocturne ult, and Sona ult to try to keep them safe and do as much damage as fast as they can. So I'm really liking how PGF is team fighting right now. We do see a counter push in mid lane from Disparity Gaming here. Ezreal ult hurts. TF is down to half life right now.
And it cuts minions in half like butter.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
It's a really good response to a counter push. Disparity Gaming's having a hard time pushing towers now. You do have Ezreal for wave clear. He does have Iceborne Gauntlet does do a area of effect damage when it lands. It doesn't just slow in an area, it does do a little bit of damage. And you have Stand Aside as well, along with Singe, so their wave clear is very strong. currently. It's really hard for Disparity to push a tower with all 5 members of PGF up.
We do see the pings for TF trying to get blue. And we don't see it happening. Nocturne just wasted his ult trying to zone out TF. He was effective on the zoning out, but he could have saved it for a team fight that could happen in the next minute or so. I would have liked to save it because I would like a nice little Nocturne ult to come in later on as I'm poking someone down to death. But we are just gonna poke stuff repeatedly. Like, he has infinite poke ability.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at ward coverage right now. Red team's got a few wards down, but they're in places that aren't really helping them much. Blue team's being very aggressive, sitting in the mid lane. And you see a flash out from Soda almost being blitz pulled. Or excuse me, Nautilus pulled, and just flashes just in time to avoid that. So they're on point with avoiding the hooks, which is really great, because if you get blitz crank pulled into a Nautilus pull, it's over for that player.
Chain pulls literally will ruin days. And like I've had it happen to me. I had a game where we had a Nautilus, a Blitzcrank, and a Thresh, and I wanted to cry.
That's actually one of my favorite.
It's like my biggest fears. Like, people have fears of spiders and like being eaten alive. I have fears of triple pull games.
I actually am watching I'm actually following a guy on YouTube. His name is Kiori, and they have a game where it's called Pullapalooza, and the 3 of them just sit top lane the whole game. And that is
my biggest fear.
Dragon is currently up.
We do just see double wards go out from the same team into the lane. Someone does get pulled. She is going to, in fact, go down. She does throw out her crescendo, but it isn't enough, and Dragon is going to be picked up by Disparity right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose a player in your team like that,
we might see an Ezreal come in for the steal. And
he misses the ult on the Dragon completely. Draven ult does go out a little late. They do have those ults steal objectives way too often in ranked games. So we do see Disparity Gaming made the pull and turned it around real quick. We do see
some action coming down. Shen is in fact going to bring his Stand United to the fight. The Nautilus ult does come out. It does reach the Draven, and Draven is going to go down. We do have Singed running around, tainting everyone with his poison. Blitzcrank is looking really tasty. His mana shield does in fact go off. He knocks Singed up. Singed ult still going off, and he will die. The Blitz will die to the poison.
The reason that teamfight was so bad was Singed was nowhere near his back line. He was running around the back near Blitzcrank, and it let Nautilus and Twitch just kind of put the hurt on Ezreal and Draven. Without a Sona to crescendo and Nocturne, I'm not quite sure where he was at in that team fight. But Draven and Ezreal had no support, so they were easily able to get killed. Singed, towards the end of that team fight, was just kind of running around trying to waste Disparity's time at that point. That's about all you can do. And even after that team fight, PGF is still in the lead, but that lead went from 3k to just under 1,000. And Twitch does get hit with the Draven ult.
But it's not going to be enough to take him down, sadly. We have items to talk about. We did have Ezreal just pick up his he has picked up his last Whisper. He still hasn't got anything for his tier, which I'm not sure if it's up yet. It should be. I feel like it should be. It is up. He just hasn't done it yet. But we do have Twitch and Draven, almost identical builds. Draven just a little bit ahead. We actually do have Twitch just picking up a last Whisperer.
Twitch does do area of effect auto attacking with spray and pray, so the last
Nocturne ult is gonna come in onto TF. The Ezreal is gonna pick him up, and he's gonna pick up a double kill onto Blitzcrank, and Draven is just doing so much damage to everyone's body. Like, no one's body is ready for this Draven right now. And they are going to pick up the first inhibitor of the game.
I mean, I think we're going to see a Baron come off here. Most of PGF is healthy enough to do it. If Singed decides to tank it, Nocturne can be there. Disparity ready to push down the mid lane and get into position to try to steal this.
If we have a nice little flash combo from Shen come out, but it doesn't look like it, and I do think, yes, it is in fact the blue team is picking up Baron Nashor. The Sona ult does come out, and it actually just about gets everyone it needs to.
And
Draven is picking up.
Twitch.
And Draven was able to pick up the Nautilus.
Yes, that was a clean sweep
Shen.
by PGF, so Twitch was got flung by Singed and just was able to get picked up, and Singed accidentally takes red buff from Draven with his poison.
He needs it.
Singed needs the red buff.
I'm convinced.
We do see Singed is right around. I believe he's able to pick up. Yes, he can pick up Randuin's whenever he goes back.
And this is going to be the second inhibitor tower going down, and the inhibitor is going to go down. We'll see if this turns into a Nexus push. If they really wanted it to, it could entirely be a Nexus push right here.
And there is no mercies from PGF. They this is the third match of their series, and they said no, we have to push as many towers as we can. So the Nexus is half exposed for Disparity Gaming, and things are starting to look a little rough.
And I think what they want to do is they want to push all the lanes up. They want to make sure that they have everything set so that it is in fact a entirely one game on their part. There are no mistakes. So they are going to push out this bot lane right now.
Yeah, and Disparity Gaming is in a rough spot right now. If they win the team fight, if Disparity wins this team fight, they last long enough for their inhibs to respawn. If they lose the team fight, it's over. So they need to win probably 3 more team fights in a row to get in this game and turn it around, and that's hard to do.
You see the Oracle's fine. Yeah, he's going around and he's ward mining. I would say that's what it's called.
Ward mining.
Yeah, ward mining. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. Just chilling, looking for wards. That 25 gold does mean something to a support.
And red team is doing is they have wards out. They have a lot more wards than PGF actually. PGF is kind of, we've got Baron, we've got 2 inhibs down. We don't need to ward so much. We just need to run down mid lane and bother them until bot lane minions push up.
And that's where they're going right now. They're going to focus that tower hard. They are going to treat this thing like a tree and just hack it in half.
We see Ezreal picking up Bladed Rune King here over a Bloodthirster. Usually blue Ezreals do pick up a Bloodthirster, generally, for that extra poke damage. We do see Bladed Rune King coming out, just in case he does get pulled up Blitzcrank, he can Bladed Rune King and Arcane Shift out of there with that bonus movement speed.
We do see Fool come onto Sona, and she is gonna look like she escaped.
Nautilus missed the pole, and it let her flash away.
And this Ezreal is constantly up.
Yeah, Ezreal does have blue buff. He does have max cooldown reduction. And he's just going to throw Qs over the wall repeatedly. Literally on a... right around a 1.4 second cooldown.
We do see Nautilus ult just come up. Shen is not in this fight, which is a little bit dangerous. We do see the TF is going to pop his Zonias. And he's gonna go down to the Sona. Nocturne is gonna get picked off from Shen with the Ignite. And this is the inhibitor. This is the Nexus.
mean, PGF just kind of, they got to a point about midway through this game, and that gold lead went from nothing to 10,000, and they just took full advantage of it and just pushed down straight to the Nexus. And that goes to show one little mistake can end a game. Both teams did play very well through all three of their matches. PGF just got that one little lead, they took full advantage of it. And I think that even though they did have Nautilus and Blitzcrank, PGF was able to avoid the hooks, and I think that's what won them the game, is being able to avoid hooks, being able to beat it, and Disparity wasn't in a position to capitalize on hooks. Sona was able to flash that wall after Blitzcrank grabbed him, and if Disparity Game would have been in a position to grab and kill that Sona right away, that might have been just enough to turn that tide of that fight. So, congratulations, Disparity Gaming. We'll see you in the final four, and we're going to cut to a little break here.